Now, if I were to save this map by saving it as, I'm going to find my red faction folder, and I'm going to save it to multi. I'm just going to save this as, say, actually I'm not going to save it in multi because it's not going to be a multiplayer map. I'm going to save it as tutorial test. After I save that, as you can see up here, change from untitled to tutorial test.rfl. That's the level that we're working on. Now, if I hit the pack button up on top of redpf, this is going to pack it into a pack file, which is necessary. The game won't load .rfl level files stock. You have to put them into VPP pack files, and as you can see down here in our red console in the bottom left-hand corner, it packed our RFL file into our VPP file. I'm then going to go up to the top bar here, and under play I'm going to go normal, and this is going to load the game up on our level. Just flash into stretched mode. Oh, I have low texture quality. There we go. And now, this is the map that we just made. As you can see, I can shoot. There's no real lighting, so the level doesn't look too good, but this is our level. I'm just going to come out of game, and to make our other room. So I'm going to go into brush mode. You can hit Shift B, I think, yeah, it's Shift B to go into brush mode, but I always just use this menu. I find it easier. I'm going to select this. Now we could also select this in top view by dragging a box or just by clicking on it if it's on the top. I'm then going to copy and paste by holding Control and pressing C and then V for copy and then paste. I'm going to hold my M key and do my right arrow and move it up to the end of the hallway. Now, if I go back into Freelook, as you can see, like before, we see our red selection box. Now, if I build by pressing spacebar, here is our room. We've now got two rooms that should look identical, connected by a hallway. Now, this tutorial is not going to go very in-depth into what we can do with this. That will be for some later tutorials, and you can watch more novice tutorials. You can go to beginner tutorials or intermediate tutorials and eventually expert tutorials. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to stick to the very basics. So I'm just going to put a light in this room and put a weapon on the ground, and that'll be it. I'm going to hit home to go to my player start. Then I'm going to, in object mode, I'm going to double click on light over here to add a light. Then I'm going to right click and go to properties. And all we're going to worry about for right now is the range. So I'm just going to change that to, say, 8 meters. That should light our room, no problem. And then I'm going to hit OK. And now, because Volition is not too smart, apparently, and they didn't code this editor correctly, normally you would have to hit W, Shift W, L, Shift L to calculate lights, and that worked, but I believe this button also works. Now, as you can see, we have a lit room. Now, I'm just going to select this light. I'm going to copy and paste it by hitting Control-C, Control-V, just like with our brush. I'm going to move it over into the middle of our other room. Now, if I build, as you can see, it's going to remove all our lighting. Building does that. So I'm going to calculate our lighting again. And now, we have two identical rooms with lights in. I'm going to hit my home key and move my camera down by pressing numpad enter. I'm going to put a weapon in the middle of this hallway here. So, I'm going to expand out item, and let's put a submachine gun. That's called machine pistol in the editor. You might want to remember that. I'm just going to double click on machine pistol, and now we have our submachine gun. That is not lined up very well, so I'm just going to go up into our top view. I'm going to hit Control G, which will lock it with the grid, and then we can just move it down. Oh, and I'm going to use this dialog up here to change our grid size, so I'm going to put it to 2.5 a meter, and then I'm going to move it up in the left viewport by holding M and hitting up and down arrows. Now we've got a gun on the floor here. Now I'm going to save my map, pack my file, and play test it again. And now when we go into our level, we're going to see our lit rooms with our weapon sitting here. Now if I run over this weapon, it's going to pick it up. We can switch to it, and now we can shoot with it. Well, that just about does it for this tutorial, so thanks for watching.